I'm Amelia. I teach Global Issues here at the Woolman semester. And Global Issues is a class that looks at a lot of things that are going on around the world nowadays, and also kind of how they've evolved through history. So we dive into economics, we dive into international development, we dive a little bit into the environment, but a couple of overarching themes throughout Global Issues are two things in particular. One is the idea of interconnectedness, that everyone around the world is interconnected because we're such a globalized world today, and that means that all of our actions affect people close to us and around the world, and also we are affected by people close to us and around the world in the actions that they perform. So we kind of like to think of that in all the different units that we study. And the second theme is this idea of multiple perspectives, that everything that we hear about, that we do, that we talk about, everything that happens in the world, there's always more than one side to it.
My name is and I teach environmental science at the Woolman Semester School. And I teach more than just environmental science. I like to teach critical thinking and working in groups and other things which are lumped into sort of 21st century skills. And 21st century skills refers to sort of more than just facts and figures. More than just information. It's really a way of thinking and a way of actually being able to apply that knowledge to any scenario. So it doesn't matter what you go into, but with like good critical thinking skills and good sort of organization and good processing skills, you can succeed in a world that's changing so quickly. So we're constantly developing new technologies and new fields are opening up and old fields are getting eliminated. So really teaching to those higher sort of skills is a way to prepare students for an ever-changing world.
My name is Jennifer Stone. I teach peace studies, and the kind of stuff that we're talking about in our class, whether it's understanding power and privilege and oppression, whether it's using poetry and essays as a tool for social change, whether it's looking at how we can cultivate inner peace and self-care and how that is radical activism in and of itself. These are all of the tools and the ideas and the skills and the values that I just wish that I had when I was in high school. We're trying to do two really difficult things at once. On one hand, we're trying to see the world clearly as it is. We're trying to understand things like racism and like sexism and like discrimination against transgender people and all of these sort of isms and the way they work and recognize systems of power and what we can do to kind of dismantle them. So we're having really hard conversations about that stuff, while at the same time we're trying to sort of interact in ways that sort of create the world that we want to see, and imagine different possibilities and act as if that's possible.
Of how often things change and how often there's new events and new things, both positive and negative, that we have to look at in the world, we'll kind of have this idea that I'm connected to everything and everything's connected to me, and therefore I should care about it, and I should look into it, and I should look into it from more than one side.
This is the most exciting stuff I think that I could be teaching, and in some ways I tried to create a class that would be like the class that I needed to have in high school. And it's so much more than, it's an English class and we read and we write and we discuss ideas, but it's a class about ourselves and our world, and how do we see it clearly for what it is, and how do we create it so that it is more just. And that's kind of what we're tasked with in class, and it's really important, exciting work, and I feel really blessed to be at this school, engaging in these questions and learning from these young people.
Are we rolling?
Goodbye! So we take a hard look at the world the way it is today. Oh, great! You and everything! What
I just come to say hi.
Don't do it in the middle of an interview.
No.
It's the worst.
You're still going.
Yeah.
Can fix it in editing.
I know.
We're just going to listen to why you teach.
Oh God.
Out of here. Already missed most of it.
So, okay. So
And then how long does that last?
Just like, I think that lasts forever.
Yeah.
big shot of me eating
I'm not
salad.
staff, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to do that. Yeah?
It's that stuff.
Delectable.
Oh.
Our privileges. Oh, I can't talk with you dancing in the background. This is the worst.
Hey! Get out! Why are you dancing in the background? I'm writing my documentary!
Go away!